Escape from Giant's Crown. Written and illustrated by Trent Kanuga. Prologue. Oliff rushed through the knee-high murky puddles, shoving through the last of the black thorny foliage of the dark forest. It was the first time in days that he'd seen the gray-blue color of misty clouds in the sky, and it ignited the spark of hope in him once more. Bartol darted out from the bushes, barking wildly beside him. Oliff took a deep breath of the clean air. He'd almost forgotten the taste of fresh air. The blue smoke which smothered the dark forest floor was thinner now, as they cleared the tree line and waded through the last of the weeds and twisted roots and entered the tall grass of the open rainy fields. As he slid over some decrepit wooden fencing, his hefty legs thumped to the ground. He nearly toppled over and dropped the limp body of his adopted Moonken child. The child was Tenza, the boy who had fallen from the sky only 9 years before. He was barely conscious, and bleeding profusely from the large puncture wound in his shoulder, a parting gift from his battle with the Beast of Tuksa. Bartol whimpered at his side, nudging at Mao, as Oliff held him close. He brushed away the boy's wet, mangled hair, as if he could somehow turn back time in the process, just to see the child smile at him one more time. But he did not. He did not move at all. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Oliff's mournful voice trembled with desperation, but only saying the words could not make them true. He pulled him close to his chest and rocked back and forth in the tall grass, crying out to the heavens under his breath, "I'm sorry, boy. I'm so sorry." The thought of losing Mao was worse than death. Not this way. Not like this. Not after all they'd been through. Under the meadow's open sky, the rain picked up, pelting him with hard, angry drops. Oliff's boots were drenched in the muck all the way up to his knees, and despite his hefty, muscular physique, every fiber of his legs burned from the 3-day journey out of the valley and through the dark forest. It had been days without food, water, or rest. Blood, still red and lots of it, seeped through the tourniquet he had fashioned around the boy's shoulder, and it drew a wide red line down the front of his coat and down his legs. Beyond the last of the twisting tree roots and down the hillside, misty clouds dispersed just enough for a sliver of moonlight to illuminate the surface of a monstrously large stone leg. Even after wiping the mud from his eyes, Oliff could not clearly see through the torrential downpour. For a moment, he thought it was an illusion or some sort of magical spell. One last trick thrown by that pack rat wizard they'd encountered days before. But no, the colossal stone foot was there. To say that the stone leg looming over the side of the hill was ominous was an understatement. It was, in fact, far larger than anything he'd ever seen in the valley. Around it, soft lights illuminated a wooden lattice framework supporting a system of gears and machinery, all creating a very skeletal order to the otherwise organic features of the colossal titan. Surrounding it, rows of reflective metal huts had been cobbled together in a junk heap along the road which had led to a singular elevator shaft running up the statue's side. Beyond the trail of lights, he saw the faint outline of the shape of what appeared to be a giant, holding a tree above its head through the stormy clouds. The city, resting on its head, appeared in the shape of a crown. Busy railway lights darted along the rails that intertwined around and through the enormous form, and dozens of airships collected at what looked like a series of docks along its back. "Well, what do you know?" Oliff mumbled under his astonished breath. "It really is a city built on the back of a giant." He grinned down at Mao. "I told you I'd get you through the dark forest." He looked down at the boy's pale face, growing cold in the icy rain. With renewed determination, he no longer felt the pain in his legs. He no longer allowed himself to feel anything. Where there was a city, there was hope. And that was enough to keep his boy alive, if only for one more day. "Double time, Barty! Let's move!" he bellowed as he charged down the hill.